Welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, today we're diving into some really useful phrases, actually taken from a SpeakDuo lesson. They're picked specifically to help, elevate your English.
Absolutely. And just quickly, if you want to practice using phrases like these, do check out SpeakDuo.com. It's a great place to meet people, practice on video calls, and really build your confidence.
Good point.
So let's get straight into it. We're breaking down some key advanced English phrases today. First up, to get into a pattern. So the basic meaning is pretty clear. Beginning to do something repeatedly, habitually.
Right.
The example given was they got into a pattern of arguing every weekend. And the sample answer to have you ever gotten into a pattern that was hard to break was, yes, I got into a pattern of staying up too late and felt tired every morning. Pretty relatable, I think.
Definitely. But here's where it gets interesting comparing it to developing a routine. They're similar, sure, but pattern often suggests something that, well, it just sort of happened, maybe without you consciously deciding it.
Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes it might even have a slightly negative feel, like a bad habit you've kind of slipped into. A routine, on the other hand, that feels more planned, more intentional, could be good, could be neutral, but you decided on it.
That makes sense. I remember a team I was on, we'd gotten into a pattern of leaving reports until the absolute last minute. Nobody planned that.
Exactly.
It just sort of evolved, and it created loads of stress.
That's the perfect example. It becomes habitual without that conscious choice. And, for anyone doing exams like IELTS, using these nuances is great. So talking about daily habits, you could say something like, reflecting on my commute, I realize I've gotten into a pattern of using public transport, which actually has really cut down my carbon footprint. See, it sounds like something that developed over time, not a strict plan.
Nice example. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about to empathize with someone. This is a big one for connection. It means really understanding and sharing someone else's feelings.
Crucial skill.
The lesson example was, it's important to empathize with others during difficult times. And a sample answer for who do you empathize with was, I empathize with new parents because I know how hard it can be, that personal connection.
Right, and this often brings up the question, what's the difference between empathize and sympathize?
Good question.
Well, they sound alike, but the feeling's different. Empathize is deeper. You're really trying to step into their shoes, feel with them. You get it on an emotional level. Sympathize is more like feeling for them.
Like feeling sorry for them?
Yeah, kind of. Pity, maybe sorrow, but you're not necessarily sharing that deep understanding or feeling it yourself. Empathy is about sharing the feeling. Sympathy is more about acknowledging it from the outside.
Got it. So in a work context, like dealing with customer complaints, we need to genuinely empathize with their frustration. It's not just fixing the problem, right?
Yeah.
It's acknowledging how they feel.
Precisely. That builds trust. And thinking bigger, like in global discussions. In our, connected world, being able to empathize with people from diverse cultural backgrounds is vital. It helps build real understanding, real cooperation. It's that deep connection again.
Okay, next phrase. This one's quite strong. Outraged on someone's behalf. Feeling angry because of something bad that happened to someone else. The source example. I was outraged on her behalf when I heard how they treated her. And a sample response. When my friend got unfairly blamed at work, I was furious for her. So feeling that anger for them.
Yes, but outraged on someone's behalf is, well, it's more intense than just being angry for someone.
Oh, so?
Outraged brings in this strong sense of injustice. In indignation, there's often a moral element. It feels like a significant wrong has been done. It suggests you're not just mad, but you feel this need to stand up for them, almost like you're defending them against this injustice. It's stronger, maybe a bit more formal sometimes.
I can definitely relate. We had a new company policy once, and it really seemed unfair to the junior team members. We weren't just annoyed. Many of us felt truly outraged on their behalf. It felt fundamentally unfair.
Exactly. That's the feeling. It's that shared sense of grievance, that violation of fairness. And in, say, an IELTS discussion about social issues, you might use it powerfully. Looking at social justice issues, I often feel outraged on behalf of marginalized communities facing systemic discrimination. It shows strong personal conviction.
Right. Let's switch to something a bit more informal. Fall into one of number buckets. Basically being categorized into types or groups.
Useful shorthand.
The example was, most customer complaints fall into 3 buckets: delivery, product quality, and service. And for hobbies?
Yes. My hobbies fall into a few buckets. Creative ones like writing, active ones like hiking. You get the idea.
Yeah, it's very handy. Now, if you compare fall into buckets to, say, be classified into categories,
Buckets is definitely more casual, more flexible. It suggests broad groupings, maybe they overlap a bit, not super strict. Category sounds more formal, maybe more scientific or academic. Think neat boxes, clear definitions.
I like buckets for everyday chat. It feels less rigid. Like for our market analysis, we're saying potential clients generally fall into one of two main buckets, small businesses or large enterprises. It simplifies things without getting too technical.
Exactly. It's practical, avoids getting bogged down. And talking about careers casually, I reckon most jobs fall into one of a few key buckets, maybe service-based, creative, or highly analytical roles. It's just a good way to group things loosely.
Okay, shifting to interaction now. To match someone emotionally. This is about aligning with someone's emotional state or their tone.
Rapport building.
Example, if you match someone emotionally, you're more likely to build trust. And a sample answer for trying this, yes, especially when someone is upset, I try to listen more and speak gently. So, adjusting your approach.
Right. And it's interesting to compare this with mirroring someone's feelings.
What's the difference there?
Well, matching feels more conscious, more intentional. You're choosing to adjust your tone or emotional display to connect with them, maybe to calm things down or build trust. Mirroring can often be unconscious.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's like you automatically start reflecting their posture or their mood. It's part of empathy, maybe, but less of a deliberate strategy than matching.
That's a really useful distinction, especially for leaders. Like, in tricky negotiations, a good manager tries to consciously match the other party's emotional tone. Not mimic, but show understanding, right? To build bridges, not walls.
Spot on. It's emotional intelligence in action. And think about public speaking. Effective speakers learn to match the emotional energy of their audience. It creates that connection, makes the message land better. It's a technique.
Absolutely. Okay, next up, to be vulnerable. This is about showing openness, taking an emotional risk.
A hot topic these days.
Yeah. The source said, being vulnerable can strengthen personal relationships. And a sample answer about being vulnerable was, probably when I told a colleague I was struggling with anxiety. Sharing something personal and potentially risky.
And comparing to be vulnerable with just to be open, well, vulnerable has that core element of risk.
Risk.
Yeah, risk of being hurt or judged or exposed. It takes courage because you're showing a part of yourself that isn't maybe polished or strong. Being open can be more casual, just sharing info. Vulnerability implies a deeper trust, a potential cost.
That makes it powerful. Like in a workplace that's genuinely psychologically safe, people feel they can be vulnerable, admit they messed up or need help without fearing major backlash. It builds real trust.
It really does. And talking about authentic connections, to genuinely connect, you often need to be vulnerable, share your real self, even the messy bits. That's where deep relationships form.
Moving to a feeling we've probably all had, to be bewildering, meaning confusing, hard to grasp.
Right.
The example. The instructions were so poorly written, they were bewildering. And the sample answer about something bewildering. Trying to understand new tax laws was absolutely bewildering for me.
I can relate. Now, bewildering versus just confusing. What's the difference? Bewildering is like next level confusing.
Okay.
It suggests you're not just puzzled, you're potentially disoriented, overwhelmed, feeling completely lost. Confusing might just need a bit more explanation. Bewildering makes you feel like you don't even know where to start. It's much more intense confusion.
I know that feeling. When they rolled out that new software at work with all the hidden menus and changes, it was genuinely bewildering at first, not just confusing, but totally disorienting.
Perfect example. That sense of being overwhelmed by the complexity. And for an IELTS answer about, say, city navigation, for a newcomer, navigating the transport system during rush hour in a huge city can be utterly bewildering. Really paints a picture.
Almost there. Penultimate phrase. To walk someone through something, super practical, means explaining step by step.
Yeah, very useful.
Example. She walked me through how to submit my application online. And answering, when did someone walk you through something? Last week, a colleague walked me through the new sales platform.
Now, the difference between walk someone through and just explain something is pretty key.
Right.
Walk through implies a guided tour. It's detailed, step by step, often involves demonstrating, checking understanding along the way. It's much more hands-on than a quick overview or explanation. You're really guiding them.
That thoroughness is crucial sometimes. Like, for this new project launch, I absolutely have to walk the entire team through the new compliance rules. Just sending an email won't be enough. We need to go step by step.
Exactly. It signals that level of care and detail. And in an IELTS speaking context, describing a process, if asked about setting up a garden, I'd try to walk the examiner through each stage clearly, from planning to planting, shows clarity and structure.
Okay, last one. A really fundamental phrase, to crave connection. That strong desire for emotional or social bonds.
A basic human need.
The example was stark. During lockdown, many people craved connection more than ever. And the sample answer to, do humans crave connection? Yes, I believe it's part of our psychology. We're social creatures.
It really is. And if you compare craving connection to just wanting company, well, the difference is huge. Wanting company can be superficial, just not wanting to be alone.
Right.
But craving connection is deep. It's this fundamental, almost primal need for belonging, understanding, emotional intimacy. Psychology backs this up. We need it for our well-being, mentally and physically. Think about how bad isolation feels, and that's the craving not being met.
That's a really strong point.
Yeah.
Even with remote work, people still crave connection, right? With colleagues, with the company's purpose. It's about feeling part of something.
Absolutely. It's fundamental. So discussing social interaction, you'd say. Humans naturally crave connection, and we know that long periods of isolation can really harm overall well-being. It's just critical.
Brilliant. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. Now let's do a quick quiz to help lock these phrases in. I'll read the question options, then pause slightly before the expert gives the answer. Feel free to pause this deep dive yourself if you need a moment to think.
Sounds good.
Question 1. What does it mean to get into a pattern? Option A. To begin doing something repeatedly or habitually. Option B. To break an old habit. Option C. To organize your daily schedule.
Okay, the correct answer there is option A. To begin doing something repeatedly or habitually, like our example of getting into a pattern of staying up too late.
Question 2. What does it mean to empathize with someone? Option A. To offer advice to someone in need. Option B. To understand and share the feelings of another. Option C. To ignore someone's emotional state.
And that one is option B. To understand and share the feelings of another. Remember empathizing with new parents feeling with them.
Question 3. What does it mean to feel outraged on someone's behalf? Option A. Feeling anger for something that happened to another person. Option B. To express anger directly to someone. Option C. To be surprised by someone's behavior.
The answer is option A. Feeling anger for something that happened to another person. That strong sense of injustice, like being outraged on behalf of a friend, treated unfairly.
Question 4. What does it mean for something to fall into one of number buckets? Option A. To create a new system of classification. Option B. To be organized neatly into containers. Option C. To be categorized into types or groups.
Correct answer is option C. To be categorized into types or groups, like how hobbies can fall into creative or active buckets.
Question 5. What does it mean to match someone emotionally? Option A. To feel exactly the same emotions as someone else. Option B. To align with someone's emotional state or conversational tone. Option C. To compete with someone's emotional intensity.
That would be option B. To align with someone's emotional state or conversational tone, like consciously deciding to match someone's emotional tone when they're upset.
Question 6. What does it mean to be vulnerable? Option A. To be easily hurt physically. Option B. To show openness or emotional risk. Option C. To feel very weak or fragile.
The answer here is option B, to show openness or emotional risk. Remember the example of telling a colleague you were struggling, that's being vulnerable.
Question 7. What does it mean to be bewildering? Option A. Confusing or difficult to understand. Option B. To feel lost in a new place. Option C. To be surprised by a new idea.
And that one is option A. Confusing or difficult to understand. That intense confusion, like finding new tax laws, utterly bewildering.
Question 8. What does it mean to walk someone through something? Option A. To accompany someone on a journey. Option B. To explain something step by step. Option C. To guide someone through a crowd.
Correct is option B, to explain something step by step, like the colleague who walked you through the new software.
Okay, final question. What does it mean to crave connection? Option A. To desire a faster internet speed. Option B. To strongly desire emotional or social connection. Option C. To need a new electrical outlet.
And the answer is definitely option B. To strongly desire emotional or social connection. That deep need many felt during lockdown, the need to crave connection.
Excellent. Hope that quiz was helpful for everyone. Really getting these advanced phrases down can make such a difference to your fluency and confidence. It adds that layer of nuance.
It really does. And understanding is one thing, but actually using them, that comes from practice. So try to weave them into your conversations when you can.
Absolutely. And again, a great place for that practice is SpeakDuo.com. If you're serious about improving, check out SpeakDuo Premium Unlimited Sessions, AI feedback, plus that 30% discount on the 6-month plan is still running, and maybe look into the Ambassador program too.
Yeah, definitely worth considering. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Think about how using these subtle vocabulary differences doesn't just make you sound more fluent, it actually changes the quality of your conversations. It lets you say exactly what you mean and connect with people on a much deeper level.
That's a great point. It's about becoming a more precise and impactful communicator. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to this deep dive.
Yes, thanks everyone.
We look forward to the next one.